Good morning. Have you ever been in one of those caves in Missouri when the guide turned out the lights? The darkness is so real you can feel it. In that kind of blackness, cats bump into one another, and owls wish they had flashlights. Actually, human history began with the lights off. Darkness was upon the face of the deep, God's word tells us. The earth was without form and void. No sight, no sound, only inky blackness, midnight under a magnifying glass. But then God turned on the lights, not by manageable evolution, but by divine command. He flipped the switch and lit the lamp of the universe. And as long as he's paying the utility bills, there's going to be light. And though God divided the light from the darkness, he also created man with individual switches and the capacity to use them. And men loved darkness rather than light because their deeds were evil. And what a trail of devastation we have left by our nocturnal nonsense. Consequently, we write much of our history in the shadows. The umbrage of delusion from past mistakes haunt us. We often wonder how we could have misread the road signs, or did some uncaring cosmic force delight in drawing maps with dead-end roads? And we've often wondered if unseen eyes laughingly watch us traveling at a high rate of speed on a bumpy road to nowhere. We also peer into the somber darkness of an insecure future, searching for some semblance of sense, some method to the madness, some rhyme or reason. We keep flipping switches, but no light ever comes on, seemingly. Moreover, I believe that at some point or other we have all been able to identify with the words of the poet, "I turned to speak to God about the world's despair, but to make bad matters worse, I found God wasn't there." That's how Robert Frost saw it. And that's just it. Darkness is any place where we perceive God not to be. And like the blind man groping about, we often fumble along the narrow pathways of life, reaching out for a hand to help us, someone to care, someone to share. And isn't it ironic? All too often the hand we reach for is the same hand we so rudely shoved away when things, when they weren't so dark. And if God was like us, he'd tell us to take a hike since we didn't want him when he wanted us. But thank God, God isn't like us. His hand is stretched out still. And though at times God seems a million miles away, he's actually very near. And if we feel after him, we'll find him. Groping about in the dark, we discover a kind hand and find it to be the hand of God. I'm Larry Hatfield. Good day.